15 out of 2.3. And so the problem here says a survey of 114 high school students determined whether they used Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And it says the provided information was determined. So let's first off, y'all, let's start by drawing a Venn diagram. So I'm going to draw a big rectangle here, right? Something looks like this. And I'm going to say, look, that's Facebook. Let's go with red. Let's call that Instagram. And let's go with green, and we'll call that one Twitter, okay? And now what I want to do is I want to start filling in all the pieces of information that we know. So it says 21 used all three of them. So 21 is going to be my number that's going to go right there. That's where all three circles overlap, okay? Now, the next part says 41 used Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram and Facebook is going to be 41. So here's Instagram, okay? And here's Facebook. So those two circles overlap right here. And if that number has to add up to 41 and this is 21, that number is going to have to be 20. Okay. We know that 39 used Twitter and Facebook. Okay. So Twitter and Facebook intersect right here. And that number has to add up to 39. So if I take 39 minus 21, that's going to give me an 18 right there. Okay. So let's see, we don't need this anymore. Okay. And then we also know that 33 used Instagram and Twitter. So this is where Instagram and Twitter overlap. That number needs to add up to 33. So if I take 33 minus 21, that's going to give me a 12 right there. Okay. Now, what else do we know? We know that 72 folks use Facebook. So everybody inside the Facebook circle has to add up to 72. So let's take those numbers 20, 21, and 18 and add them up, and then we'll subtract it from 72. So let me clear this out. So we have 18 and 20 and 21, and we're going to subtract 72 minus the answer we just got, 59. That's going to give me a 13. Okay. So right here, you guys, I'm going to write a 13. Okay. What else do we know? It says that 57 use Twitter. So everybody inside the Twitter circle has to add up to 57. So let's take 18, 21, and 12, add those together, and subtract it from 57. So we're going to take 18 plus 21 plus 12, and we're going to take 57 minus what we got. That's giving 6, right? So that number right here, you guys, is going to be a 6. Okay. And then we have Instagram. Okay, so we have 68 used Instagram. So everybody in this red circle has to add up to the number 68. So let me take those numbers and add them all up. So, sorry to figure out what those were. 20, 21, and 12. Okay. So let's take 20 and 21 and 12. And that's giving me 53. And we know that our Instagram was 68. Okay, so 68 minus 53 is 15. Okay, so I know this number here is going to be a 15. And I know I still need another number, y'all, on the outside for how many people didn't use any of them. And so the way I would do that is I'm going to take each of these numbers and add them all up and subtract from my total of 114. So just because I always forget stuff, I'm going to do this on my phone, y'all, so I'm just giving me a second. I'm going to add those numbers up. So 13 and 20 and 21 and 18 and 12 and 6 and 15. I'm coming up with 105. So if I take 114 and I subtract 105, I should get 9. So there's 9 folks that didn't use any of this stuff here, right? I don't want to put a circle there, but just letting us know that the number over here on the outside, y'all, is a 9, okay? So anyway, let's see if we can start answering our questions as we go along. So the first question says, how many of the students surveyed only used Instagram? Only using Instagram, y'all, would be 15. And so I actually copied this problem directly here so you can see it. I got it right here. So let me enter in my 15. Let's check our answer. Ooh, okay, we're doing good so far. Okay, now the second question. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Let's do it this way. Let us upload it over here. Right there. Okay, and it says how many of the students surveyed used Instagram and Twitter? Okay, Instagram and Twitter, but not Facebook, right? Not Facebook. So let's do it this way, Instagram and Twitter. So this is where Instagram and Twitter overlap, but we don't want the ones that are using Facebook, so we're only going to use that number 12. Okay, so look, I'm back over here. I'm going to enter in my number 12. I'm going to check it. Okay, we're doing great so far. Part C says, how many of the students surveyed used either Instagram or Twitter? Okay, so I'm doing that. And let me upload that picture. Okay, now the difference in this question says they used Instagram or Twitter. Okay, so let me come back to my picture. Everybody in this circle is Instagram, right? Everybody in this circle is Twitter. I want all of those numbers, okay? All the numbers that are in the green circle and in the red circle. So the numbers that I'm going to add up are going to be 18 and 21 and 20 and 15 and 12 and 6, and I'm coming up with 92, okay? So I'm coming up with 92, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to type in 92, and I'm going to check my answer, and okay, we're doing good so far. Okay, now, part D says, how many of those students used Instagram or Twitter, but not Facebook? Okay, so again, the question is simple, but there's some slight differences here, right? So look, let's upload this picture here, and we're looking for Instagram or Twitter, but not Facebook. So let's come back to our picture that we had before. Here's Instagram, right? Here is Twitter. We want to use the numbers that are in that red circle and the green circle, but that are not in the blue. So look, I'm going to use 6, I'm going to use 12, and I'm going to use 15. Okay? So let me add those numbers. So I'm just doing this on my phone calculator, you guys. 6 plus 12 plus 15 is 33. Okay? So right here, y'all, I'm going to type in a 33, okay? And I believe there's a part E. Okay, part E says, how many of the students surveyed used exactly 2 of the social media? So look, let me come back over here so I can upload my picture so we can see what the question is. All right, so the question says, how many of the students surveyed used exactly 2? Okay, exactly 2. Exactly 2, y'all, means where 2 circles overlap. Look, 2 circles overlap right here. 2 circles overlap right here. And 2 circles overlap right there. I'm not using the 21 because that's where all 3 circles overlap. And I'm not using the 13, the 15, or the 6 because there's no overlap there. So I'm just going to add those numbers. So 18 plus 20 plus 12, and I'm coming up with 50. So I'm going to back over here, you guys, and I'm going to enter in my number 50, and I'm going to check my answer, and we got it, okay? So I know one of our classmates had asked me to do their problem. I wanted to do this one because I kind of wanted to go through the process and show you how the answers are working out. Yo, the most important thing, in order for me to, I have to be able to draw that Venn diagram right there. Again, if you notice in this problem, I didn't really need to use the number 9, but I didn't know if I was going to have to use it or not because I couldn't answer the questions until, the questions kind of come up one at a time. So, the fact that we found the number 9, it wasn't hard for me to do, but we were able to find it. We just didn't need it for this problem. If there would have been a part F, right, that was said, how many people don't use any of them, right? So none. Then we would have said, hey, it's that number right there, okay? But anyway, the most important thing is being able to draw that picture. Once I can draw the picture, I can answer each of those questions because I'm just using my picture to do that, okay? If y'all have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help.